up, Lakers fans?
What up, Lakers fam?
Laker fans!
Let's go, Lakers!
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
We ballin'. But it's purple, start this vote, baby. We ballin'. Ain't nobody in the world, niggas.
LA, I got us. Who with me? Let's roll.
Oh, yeah, you already know.
You know what they yell when they see me?
Hurling go!
Some Diane's on my way to the
Slam dunk!
gonna hate her like who?
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Champions of the spot. Watch how they watch us. Meet me at the top.
LA, baby.
Nah, we ain't gon' stop. LA be like, Laker fans like, LA be like.
We ballin'. Ain't nobody in the world, niggas. We ballin'. It's all purple and gold, baby. It's all purple and gold.
It's showtime, baby.
Let's go.
What up, Lakers Nation? Lakers Nation, salute to all of you. Welcome back to Lakers Over Everything for your Game 2 edition of the Lowdown, the pregame show. The Lakers play basketball tonight. We have a familiar foe, a foe that put us out in the first round last year in only 5 games. We're talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves. And we're going to get you excited, get you ready for all of that. And we're going to talk about Tuesday's season opener in that 10-point loss against the Golden State Warriors. And a lot more, man. This is your daily dose of Lakers basketball right here with your boy, LOE, purple and gold. Till I die, purple and gold I ride. I bleed purple. My heart beats gold. It is and always will be. Lakers over everything, man. Salute to all of you, Lakers Nation. Here we are, game 2 of 82. We didn't get off to the start that we wanted. We lost by 10 to the Golden State Warriors, and we are 0-1. That's important for me because I think the Lakers have to get off to somewhat of a fast start, being in this tough Western Conference. Tough Western Conference. We got to get off to a fast start. I said we needed to be in that 15-5 range again. This is me speaking, not wanting to be a play-in team, me wanting to be a playoff team and somewhat of a contender. I still believe I came in to the season and nothing changed, of course, after a loss. I still do not believe this will be the final iteration of the Lakers roster. This will not be the roster that will play deep, into March and April and so on and so forth. So I have to wait and see what the changes are, like who's acquired, which trades are made, which moves are made at the deadline or before, starting December to the deadline. I have to see what the Lakers do to improve this roster to take them into consideration as being a contender as currently constructed. I believe that I think the ceiling. Well, you got Luka and you got LeBron, so it's tough to put a ceiling on it. But I would say they're like a 6 seed right now, which is a playoff team and not a play-in team. That's my whole thing. I don't want to be in the play-in tournament. And being a 6 seed is not saying they're not a bad team or they can't contend as a 6 seed. Because 6 seed in the Western Conference, that's pretty darn good. I do believe it's going to be a tight race, another tight race in the West. So again, 6 seed, I can rock with that. But to inch up closer to those true contenders or to inch up closer to that 3 seed, which the Lakers held down last year in the playoffs. They picked up that seed last year. To get up there, I believe they need to make a move. But nevertheless, we're speaking as currently constructed. So again, trying to get to that 6 or above seed. I think the Lakers needed to get off to a fast start. And again, I said they need to be 15-5. Well, they dropped one. So now you're looking at 15-4 over these next 19. Again, we're looking at those first 20 games. That's generally what we like to do. But I saw enough again where I don't see this team. And again, it was only one game, so I'm not going to push the panic alarm and all that. But at the same time, my eyeballs tell me, they showed me everything I need to see. It's not going to take another 19 games for me to see that this team is not athletic enough, that the defense on this team is not good enough, and that the shooting on this team is not good enough. I think those are three major areas of concern. We got to get athletic on both sides of the ball. We need guys who can defend and score. Some guys who aren't so Luka or AR dependent, some guys who can get their own shots, whether it be in the starting lineup or off the bench. We need that. It's just not there. Defensively, again, we all know that was a major area of concern. It still is. It's going to be until we make some moves. This ain't it. This team ain't it defensively. I think that I'm struggling to see how we can be an average defensive team. I thought coming in that, man, if we could just be an average defensive team and be a top offensive team, then we'll be all right. But I don't know, man. I don't even know if we could be an average defensive team as currently constructed. I think we got to get some more pieces there. Now, you got a couple of pieces like Marcus Smart, Jared Vanderbilt, right? Those are two major additions. Vando addition by just being available this year, which he hasn't been. Those are two major additions that we thought would contribute defensively. And if we are going to be an average defensive team, then those two guys are going to make a major impact there alongside DeAndre Ayton, of course, right? Luka and AR, they are what they are. They just got to be able to hold their own, right? And just make things difficult. We just don't have good individual or high caliber individual defenders on the squad, right? So it's going to have to be a team defense thing, right? But at the same time, again, as I mentioned, Smart and Vando are going to have to be big with that. Now, Vando only played 12 minutes on Tuesday. Only 12 minutes on Tuesday. And it's crazy because we kind of spoke about it, or I don't know who I was speaking to about it. I can't remember. But how JJ just raved about Vando being Vando. how Vando was back and all that, right? Well, he only played 12 minutes. So if he's back and Vando is Vando again, the Vandalorian is back and all that, then why did he only play 12 minutes? Now, again, we know what he is on the offensive side of the ball. We know that it just is what it is. He just don't have it offensively, right? He can't knock down that corner three. He can't finish at the rim, blah, blah, blah. We can go on and on. We kind of know that. But defensively, I thought he would be dialed in. Defensively, I thought he would bring that energy. I thought he would bring that disruption, that aggression, that grit, that attitude, everything that Vando is known to be. I thought we can get that. We could get that from him, right? Well, only 12 minutes in the opening game. That's tough, man. That is tough. So I'm expecting a lot more from him. I just think you have to play him a lot. Now, I don't think Vando's a guy you're going to play 35 minutes unless he's just on one that night, right? I want to see Vando 20, 25 at most, but I needed to be disruptive minutes, right? I just need him to be all over the place, just pressuring guys, causing chaos, causing turnovers, and all that. That's the Vando that I want to see. I just don't think you're going to get that in just only 12 minutes in game one. So I'm expecting more from Vando tonight, especially against Minnesota. I would even consider starting Vando. I just don't think, let's get into that. I don't think you could play that same starting lineup that you played on Tuesday, that being Gabe Vincent, right? Gabe Vincent being in the starting lineup alongside Luka and AR and Rui and DeAndre Ayton. Again, that three-guard lineup, three-guard offensively, defensively, I guess is not a three-guard lineup because Luka doesn't guard guards really. He's pretty much a wing or big. You're going to try to hide him there with that. But still, nevertheless, it's still a three-guard lineup. You can't play that against Minnesota. Minnesota is just too big. That was the major issue that we had against Minnesota last year when they sent us home in 5 in the first round, right? They were just too big and too athletic. Well, did the Lakers go out and do anything about that? I mean, I just don't know. Now, you did go out and get DeAndre Ayton, so that's going to help you there. That's going to give you some defense. That's going to give you some rebounding. That's going to give you some size. So they did do all that. But outside of that, not really. Jake LaRavia, I don't know if he solves the athleticism problem. I don't know if he solves the defensive problem. He just doesn't. That's not who he is, as much as he may try to say it or JJ may try to make you think it. No, that's not what that is, right? So the Lakers didn't really address this Minnesota problem, this Minnesota Timberwolves problem that I think that they're still going to have, and we're going to see it again tonight. I think they're going to dominate this. I mean, I just hate to say it. Now, again, you got DeAndre Ayton, so you got size there. Now you can move Jackson Hayes back to the 5. I mean, last year, it's just the Lakers are behind, in my opinion, right? Last year, they played this big, athletic Minnesota team without a center. Well, now we're supposed to rejoice that we got a center. No, you should have had that from the jump. So it's just like we're behind. Whereas Minnesota, they're going to pick up right where they left off. The last 2 years, they've been in the Western Conference Finals. So this is a legit team here, right? They're going to be even hungrier after falling short last year. They're a more hungrier team, right? And all these guys, these guys, this is an athletic team, right? Now, they did make a change to their starting lineup. Now, Dante DiVincenzo, he's their starting point guard. It's not Mike Conley. Mike Conley's coming off the bench now. So I think that helps them tremendously. Him coming off the bench, that's big. But Dante being in the starting lineup, it gives them more athleticism. It gives them more shooting. It gives them more offensive creation. Yeah, I think that's a solid move for them, moving him into the starting lineup. But then throughout the rest of their lineup, Ant, McDaniels, Julius, Rudy, this is a very athletic team, a very skilled team. And I just think that tonight, they're going to make things really, really, really tough for the Lakers. Again, this might just be an extension of last year. Now, again, you got DeAndre Ayton, so you check that box, something that we didn't have last year. So I want to see how that looks. We need a big game from Ayton tonight. Tuesday, it was all right. To me, they look like a team that didn't practice. They look like a team that didn't play in the preseason, and that's exactly what they were. For whatever reason, they didn't play in the preseason. We can't put the poured milk back into the jug, so we're not gonna cry about spoiled milk. But we just got to find a way to move forward. And it's gonna have to happen fast, right? We don't have time to sit back and try to. We got to win some ball games. We got to win some ball games if we want to be in the mix come March, April. Again, I know that's difficult to say when it's only game 2, but it's the truth. That's how good the West is. You look at the basketball played from the Western Conference contenders over the last couple of nights. It's been some good basketball. They look really, really well. Starting with the top, the defending champions, OKC. They're 2-0. Now it took a total of 4 overtimes to get those 2 wins, but they're 2-0 and they look really, really good. Even Houston, who they beat on opening night, Houston, they look like a good ball club. So they got to figure some things out. I still think they need a point guard in there, a ball handler, right? But that's something they could fix. But they look good, and they're going to get better, right? And Denver, last night they lost in overtime last night, but they look like a good ball club. Jokic, once he gets in shape, which he does, as the season goes on, he looked a little sluggish last night, right? But it's expected. The first night, that's Jokic for you, but he's going to get better. I'm not worried about that. They're going to be a good ball club, right? The Warriors, they're going to be the Warriors. And that was the thing on Tuesday also. The Warriors, they already had that chemistry. They didn't have anything to kind of bake in. The only thing they had to bake in was Al Horford. Well, Al Horford is a true vet. He's going to fit right in. Wherever he plays, he's going to fit right in. You kind of saw that, whereas the Lakers had a lot of moving pieces to try to figure out. 1, you're playing without LeBron James. 2, you're trying to insert DeAndre Ayton, and then you got Luka AR. It's just a lot of moving pieces there, right? So I think Golden State came in with a bit of advantage with that. Same thing tonight, though. Minnesota, same thing. This is a well-oiled machine already, right? Now, again, they're not world champions or anything like that, but they've been to the Western Conference Finals for back-to-back seasons. They are a really good ball club, and they're bringing back some of the same pieces, with the exception of losing. They lost one piece over the summer, but other than that, they're bringing back the same pieces, and they're even hungrier. So it's another uphill battle tonight. But the Lakers got to figure it out, man. They got to figure it out. They did practice yesterday. It looked like everybody was a full participant in practice. Luka practiced. You were a little worried about him because he had a growing thing at the end of that Golden State Warriors game, but he's good. He's not even on the injury report as probable or anything else. AR had an ankle issue. He's not on the injury report either for tonight, so they're good to go. AR, I think his availability in yesterday's practice was a little different. He didn't do everything that he normally does, but he's good to go. He's not probable on the injury report at all. So that's welcoming news, but they're going to have to figure this thing out and figure it out fast beginning tonight, right? This is a revenge game. You got to get some get back because this is the team that put us out in 5. So if anything, I just want to see them hungry, and I want to see some dogs, right, and some fight, just for that simple fact. Like try to get some get back against this Minnesota team, man. So that's what I want to see first and foremost. What up, Laker girl? How you doing? Yeah, let's go Lakers, baby. Let's get it. Yeah, let's get some get back tonight, man. There's a lot that went down, in that first round series. Minnesota just kind of dominated us and sent us packing. So like let's get some get, and it starts with our two main guys, with Luka and AR. AR was exposed in that series. He wasn't big enough, he wasn't strong enough, and they kind of dogged him, dominated him, right? So that was the main thing over the summer, him getting stronger, him getting bigger, and sharpening his skill set and knocking down the 3-ball and stuff, something he didn't do in that last series. So all eyes on him to see if he can do that tonight. And then Luka looked bad in the series last year against Minnesota. So now we got skinny Luka back. Pick up right where you left off on Tuesday. Luka balled out. Luka magic was in full effect. Luka looked like a legit MVP. He looked like a legit best player in the world. And I think we're going to need that all season long, with or without LeBron James, and with or without any other additions or subtractions that they do to the squad. We're going to need this version of Luka. He has to take a personal tonight. We know before last year in that first round series that Luka kind of dominated Minnesota, right? He had sent them packing a couple of times in the playoffs. Well, let's get back to that. They ended that last year in the first round. Well, let's get back to that. Get back to dominating Rudy Gobert. We know when Luka sees Rudy on the schedule, he goes into that game salivating, right? He's ready to eat. So let's get back to that tonight. Those two guys, I want to see how they look against Minnesota. They got a lot to show, a lot to prove against this Minnesota ball club. But another guy is DeAndre Ayton. Now, as Laker fans, we said it. Oh man, what if we had a center? If we had a center, this series would have been a lot different. If we had a center, we would have beat them. If we had a center, well, guess what, Lakers Nation? We now have a center, right? You got a center now. So all eyes on DA. Let's see how he looks tonight. There's a lot of pressure on him, but hey, such is life being the starting center for the Los Angeles Lakers, especially after coming off a season where they didn't have one. So I want to see how he looks tonight. He has a tall assignment against Rudy. That's a big body. But I'm interested to see how that matchup looks. That should be a fun, very fun matchup. And Ayton and Luka, or Ayton and AR, you can tell they're still trying to figure things out. They're going to have to figure it out on the fly. We don't have 20 games to figure that out. They have to figure that out right now. But you saw it on Tuesday. They're still trying to figure that out. They did have a full practice yesterday, so hopefully that helped. But we're gonna need to see that now. Because that's such a crucial part to the Lakers' success offensively. Again, defensively, we're just trying to be an average or as close to average as we can be. But offensively, we have to be elite. We have the tools to be an elite offense, a top 10, even higher, top 5 offense, I believe. So that's where we're going to have to live and die. And a lot of that is predicated on the connection of Ayton and Luka, or AR and Ayton, right? That connection has to be big. It just opens up so many layers to the offense. We know JJ wants to run. He wants to shoot. He wants that 5 out. He wants to shoot a lot of threes. We know Luka wants to do that as well. Well, if you get Ayton going and you get all those actions with Ayton, then that opens all that stuff up. So let's see how that looks tonight, especially against a defender like Rudy Gobert. Excellent rim protector. He can step out and try to, guard a guy on the 3-point line, but he's beatable. You can beat him. You can beat Rudy. So let's see how that looks tonight. But that's something that we have to see. Yeah, Thomas, I got to see it first too. You and me both, bro. But hopefully we can see it tonight. Hopefully we can see it tonight. Now Minnesota, they're coming off the victory. They beat Portland, a young scrappy Portland team. I like Portland, what they're doing. That game was a decent game, but then Minnesota kind of took off and got the victory. So they come in 1-0. We're 0-1. So we got to try to get this tonight. Of course, the game is at Crypto tonight, so we got to take advantage of being at home. Again, this is a tough one, man. This is a very, very tough game. Lakers cannot turn the ball over, man. They cannot turn the ball over tonight. On Tuesday, they turned the ball over 20 times, but of those 20 turnovers, which was bad, in my opinion, was 10 of those turnovers. So half of the 20 were live ball turnovers. That's terrible because on live ball turnovers, it gives the opponent an opportunity to get out in transition offense and score some easy buckets, right? When you're getting steals and interceptions, if you will, it's tough. It's tough to get back and set your defense up, especially like against a Golden State team. They get all those transition threes, and you get the Jimmy Butler in transition, getting to the foul line and all of that. Minnesota, they're a good defensive team also, and they're going to try to force some of those live turnovers as well because they love to get out in transition. And in transition is must-see TV, right? So he's going to try to do that tonight. They're going to try to do that tonight. So we have to clean that up. We got to play a clean ball game. We cannot have 20 turnovers. 20 turnovers, then you had, 11 missed free throws. You lost the game by 10. Well, if you clean those two things up, the turnovers and free throws, you probably get out of that game 1-0, right? You probably get out of there with a victory. As ugly as it may have been, so be it. It's game one. Just get the victory. So we have to clean things up tonight. Even Austin, you look at Austin's stat line, he had a good, a decent stat line. He had 26, 9, and 5, but he had 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers as one of our top ball handlers and playmakers. Yeah, that ain't gonna cut it, man. And 4 of the 5 were those live ball turnovers that we just spoke about. So we have to play a cleaner game, right? We know Luka balled out. Luka Magic in full effect. MVP Luka in full effect. Best in the world, Luka, slim Luka, whatever you want to call him, skinny Luka. He was balling, right? I'm not concerned about that. I think that's going to continue to be the case. Defensively, it is what it is. Hopefully, get a little bit better with that. But we need some guys to step up with those guys. Again, 26 from Austin. It's crazy. This stat line right here. So Luka and Austin scored 97 of the Lakers' 109 points. Let me say that again. Luka and Austin scored 97 of the Lakers' 109 points. That's about 89% of the points that the Lakers scored on Tuesday were by those two guys. Like, come on, man. Come on. We cannot have that. We need guys to step up. We absolutely need guys to step up, man, and score. We talked about Vando and Gabe earlier. Those two combined, 32 minutes combined for those two, and they scored a whopping 4 points. Like, come on. That's not going to cut it. Rui, we need Rui to be more efficient also. We need Rui to score more also, right? We need 15 from Rui every night. DeAndre Ayton also. We're going to need 15 from him every night. You don't have LeBron James in the roster on the floor right now, dealing with that injury, and that seems like it's going to be the case for the next couple of weeks until like mid-November, 2 or 3 weeks. So everybody else has to step up. They're going to have to score. Our margin for error is very, very slim because you don't have LeBron James, who's such a major part of this offense, any offense, right? But other guys are going to have to step up. So we're going to need big nights from Rui. We're going to need consistency from Rui. You can't have an 8-point night or 6-point night or, even 11, 12-point night. We're going to need more from that. We need more from Aiden. We're going to need him to score some easier buckets. And again, we spoke about it a little while ago, have more of that connection with AR and with Luka because we need points. We're going to have to score. We're going to have to score. Again, you played against an established Golden State Warriors team They scored the ball. They scored the rock. And that's kind of what happened. They kind of outscored us. Third quarter, we'll talk about that in a second. But same thing tonight, Minnesota. They're an established ball club, right? They have the chemistry. They've been playing together. They've been to back the last two Western Conference Finals. So they're going to score the rock, and we got to be able to match that. We have to be able to match that. As I said it, and I'll say it all season long. Defensively, or until we make a trade, I'll continue to say it. But defensively, at best, average. That's what we're trying to get to. But offensively, we have to be elite. You got Luka, you got AR, you got to be elite. And going back to the turnover stuff, I know it's only one game. It's only one game, right? Everybody in the NBA, they've only played one game. So I don't even want to pull up stats OKC and Golden State. I guess they played two games. And oddly enough, they're both 2-0 in their two games. But I don't want to pull up stats, but those 20 turnovers put the Lakers second to last in the NBA in turnover percentage. Second to last. And the only team that have more turnovers than the Lakers are the Houston Rockets. I know Houston's a contender, but Houston, they don't have a point guard. Their point guard is out. They don't have a point guard. They're trying to figure that out. You got KD bringing the ball up. You got Sengun bringing the ball up. You got Thompson. They're trying to figure out, their play handling capabilities. So that's not a good look. They're the only team that's had more turn. And then they played the OKC Thunder, the best defensive team in the entire NBA, and a team that forces turnovers better than anyone else in the NBA. That's who they played. So they have an excuse to be that bad, right? They have that to figure out. But Lakers, we got Luka and we got AR. That's not supposed to be an issue. Turning the ball over and being a high turnover team, that cannot be the case here. As I just said, we already have a very thin, we don't have a lot of room for error, right? Without LeBron, even with LeBron, you still don't have a lot of room for error. You got to play close to perfect basketball, and turning the ball over, that's the direct opposite of that. So again, we got to play a cleaner ball. We got to play a cleaner game tonight, right? That is a must. You absolutely have to do it. Now, the starting lineup, I kind of understand it against Golden State. You needed someone to run with Steph, although I probably would have went a different direction, but it is what it is. I just don't think that starting lineup works. I said it on Tuesday. The only way I see Gabe remaining in that starting lineup or him being beneficial in that starting lineup is if he's knocking down his three, right? He was doing it in the preseason. So again, I understand it. So maybe you throw him out there because he played a very good preseason, but that was not the case on Tuesday. He only made one shot, 1 3 he made, right? That's not going to cut it. That's not going to cut it. And then they were just small, and they were small against Golden State. Golden State's a small team, and the Lakers look small. Well, tonight against Minnesota, we're really going to be small. So I don't know if you can roll that same starting lineup out there, right? It didn't sound like JJ was committed to a starting lineup. It looked like it might be on a night-to-night basis, depending on who we're playing. Well, if that's true in any sense of the imagination, then I think you got to switch up the starting lineup tonight against a big Minnesota team, right? And against Gabe, if Gabe is in your starting lineup, I don't know how serious a contender you can look at, that you can really beat, right? No shade to Gabe at all, but I think Gabe is a good rotational piece. He's a good role player. He's a good vet. But he's not a starter. Like, I just don't think he can be on a contender starting lineup. So, yeah, I would love to see that change. Now, who do you throw in there? Best case scenario is Vando. If Vando, Cabal and Vando's playing well, then that's who you went out there, right? Because he's going to give you some defense in that starting lineup. He's going to give you some size. He's going to give you some athleticism. He's going to give you some grit, toughness, dog energy. He's going to give you all that. But I don't know. Offensively, JJ just doesn't trust him. He doesn't trust him out to be out there again. Only 12 minutes, so maybe it's not him. But on a night tonight, maybe you just got to throw him out there and see. Marcus Smart, that's the other option. The only issue that I have with Marcus Smart, or the only concern or worry that I have with Marcus Smart, is can he play 30 minutes a night, as a starter? Can he do that? Can he is he healthy enough to be able to do that? And does he still have enough in the tank? I do think that he has enough left in the tank, but the main thing is health. Can he be healthy enough to stay on the court for 30 minutes a night as a starter? The only way to really see that is if you throw him out there, right? So we'll see. I believe he played, I think close to 20 minutes or a little bit more than 20 minutes on Tuesday. And he was very much involved in that game. His imprint was in that game, guarding Steph and getting dirty with Draymond. You love to see that. You love to see that grit and that dog and that attitude. Absolutely love that. And we could use that again tonight. So maybe Marcus Smart, he gets to start. He gets the nod to start. I'm with either one of them. Vando or Smart, do something different. I don't think you want to roll out there with Gabe Vincent again tonight. And again, that's no shade to Gabe, but he's just not a starter in my opinion. So let's see if JJ isn't stubborn or and he'll make a change to that lineup tonight. So it remains to be seen. He hasn't had his pressure yet that I'm aware of. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. We will see what happens there, right? You got to rebound the ball tonight. Absolutely have to rebound the basketball tonight. And it's going to have to be team rebounding, right? Because the Lakers just aren't a good individual rebounding team. DeAndre Ayton, he's really good at rebounding the basketball, but I think he's going to be negated tonight because you got Rudy Gobert on the other side, who's a better rebound. And DA is great. He's a great defensive rebounder, even offensive rebounder. He's a great rebounder in general, but you're going up against one of the best in the league, the most elite in the league in Rudy Gobert. So they're going to negate each other. So we're going to need some other guys to step up and rebound the ball. Luka, we know Luka's going to get his double-digit rebounds. That's just who Luka is. We need AR, to contribute on the boards, contribute on the glass. He did on Tuesday. We need that to continue tonight. But a guy like Rui, you're going to have to use that big-ass body you got and get in there and grab some boards, bro. Like, grab some boards. We're going to need that tonight, right? We talked about him scoring. Well, you're going to have to do both. You're going to have to be able to score the rock and grab some boards. We're going to need that tonight. And then everybody else, whoever else is out there, when Jackson Hayes is out there, grab some boards, Jackson. Get up high and grab some boards. We're going to have to rebound the basketball as a team. We know that was one of the biggest issues that we had last year in round one, when they sent us home, was rebounding the basketball. They demolished us on both sides, offensively and defensively on the glass. So you have to correct that tonight, and it's going to have to be a team effort. Everybody has to buy in. They got to go the extra mile and do the small things to grab some boards. Everybody has to be dialed in. If not, then yeah, this could be a 20-point blowout at home. So yeah, let's get after it. Let's get after that tonight, right? Play aggressive, man. Play with some play aggressive. Play aggressive. Have some dog, have some grit, all that stuff, man. Because that's the type of squad that Minnesota is. Match that energy, man, or dish it out first. Don't match it. Dish it out first. You're the home team on your floor. They sent you home in 5, so have some pride wearing the purple and gold and get after it tonight. You got to do that. You got to be tough. Yeah. Let's get after it, man. Let's get after it tonight. The final thing before we get out of here, there's a lot going on in LA today. We know LA, we're all going to be tuned in to our Los Angeles Dodgers. It's game 1 of the series tonight. So super pumped about that. So hopefully the Dodgers go out there and get game 1. Blake Snell's on the mound. So let's go out there. Let's get game 1. And then, let's cap the night off with the Lakers victory, the first victory of the season. That's what we're trying to do. But LA, Lakers Nation, we got some good news, man. We all know that the Lakers made headlines last year with Mark Walter and that historic $10 billion deal that went down. Well, we finally got some more news to that. Well, today, everything was presented to the committee, the advisory finance committee, which means that this deal can be done as early as next week, man. As early as next week. So everybody wondering when Can Mark Walter take over? When will the team be his, the organization be his officially? Well, it could happen real soon. They made those steps today. The next step is that advisory finance committee. Their next step is to push things to the board of governors, and then there's the vote, right? So from everything that's been reported, everything I've heard and seen, that should be done. There shouldn't be any snags or hiccups in sending this thing to a vote, sending it to the board of governors for a vote. So once that happens, then you got to get three quarters of the vote. So 3/4 of the owners have to vote in favor of the deal, which that should be the case. Like that should, I think all the owners will approve of this, and then after that, that's it. It's a done deal, and the report is that this can be done as early as next week. So next week on Wednesday, Wednesday is Game 5 of the World Series, if I'm not mistaken. By Game 6, Mark Walter, he could be celebrating the World Series title and celebrate being the new owner of the Los Angeles Lakers. So that's something to look forward to, Lakers Nation. Something to look forward to there. I think we're all excited about that move. It's a move that we all want, just because it'll elevate this franchise a lot more, just with the resources of Mark Walter, right? And his commitment to success, his commitment to winning, his commitment to championships. And I just think it's just time for a breath of fresh air in this organization. And this is good news for the city of Los Angeles, good news for Lakers Nation, and good news for the Lakers organization in its entirety, right? From the top down to the bottom. So that's something that we should be excited about. This could be done by next week. So super pumped, super excited about that. Oh, one other thing I wanted to say about the Lakers, a stat that I did notice, or I did jot down here in my notes. The Lakers did play a center in all 48 minutes on Tuesday. So that's welcoming news, right? JJ didn't go small. Again, last year against this Minnesota squad, we went small. Well, he played a big all 48 minutes. So we're going to need that again tonight. DeAndre Ayton and Jackson Hayes, those are the two guys. Max Kleber, he's still out. So it's going to have to be those two guys. So let's see how that fares to the Lakers, if it fares to their advantage at all, against this big Minnesota team. Minnesota's a big team. They're really big. They're really athletic. If you slot the two lineups together, they're pretty much more athletic than the Lakers at every position. So it's an uphill battle. It's going to be tough, a tough opponent right out the gates, right? Two tough opponents, man. But such is life in the Western Conference. But the Lakers, they can't cry about it. They're going to have to just go out there and find a way to get it done. They're going to have to figure this thing out on the fly and pick up some wins as they do so. Like I said, 15-5 is what I wanted in those first 20. Well, you dropped one. So now I'm looking at 15-4 over these next 19. Take a look at the Lakers' upcoming schedule again tonight, Minnesota. And then on Sunday, they play the Sacramento Kings. And then on Monday, the Portland Trail Blazers. And then next Wednesday, they go to Minnesota to see these Wolves again. So those are the Lakers' next 4 games. So you got to find a way, to pick up 3 wins here. A team like Sacramento, a team like Portland, they're going to play you tough, but you got to win those 2 games, right? And then you got to split this against Minnesota. You got 2 games against them. You got to find a way to get one of them, right? And tonight, it will be a really good night to get it because the next one is in Minnesota. So, man, let's get after it. Let's stack up some W's and let's hold this thing down, Lakers Nation. Enjoy Luka tonight. Enjoy this prime matchup tonight. It's going to be fun. Prime matchup. I say prime. It's funny because I think the game is on Amazon Prime, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. It is. It's on Amazon Prime tonight. So enjoy some Lakers basketball on Prime Video. Enjoy the Dodgers game as they look to jump out to a 1-0 lead over the Toronto ball club. Enjoy that series. But as we do so, as we enjoy that series, let's come on, Lakers. Let's sprinkle in some wins in there so we can enjoy those too. But thanks for tuning in. If you're watching the replay, appreciate you. And we'll tap in with you guys later, man. Purple and gold till we die. Purple and gold we ride. I bleed purple. My heart beats gold. It is and always will be Lakers over everything. I'm your boy, LOE. I'll tap in with you guys later. Get this W, Lakers. Let's go. Peace.